It's happening, beginning farmer friends. It's really and truly happening. The predicted snow has started hours earlier than they said it was going to start, which means my, what did I call it yesterday? My calculated risk. I'm not sure how it's gonna work out. By the way, if you like today's video, give it a thumbs up, like, subscribe, hit that notification bell, all of the YouTube things, comment down below. It's gonna be a crazy day today, I think. We are going to keep track of the snow. This is what I think is supposed to happen, although everything's changing so quickly right now that we might just be in for the snow at this moment. But what I saw this morning is it was going to snow a little bit and then stop and then get really heavy around 1 o'clock, noon, something like that. So we'll see if that happens. I'm kind of hoping for that. Right now the snow is coming out of the south, which means it is blowing into my doorless shed. I think I'm going to have to end up shoveling out my shed when all is said and done. I am in the lean-to back here though because I want to try to start the John Deere 110. This is my son's tractor. He went to town to do a couple things, so I was going to try to start this for him and see if I can get it around to the front side because it's got a snow blade on it and sometimes he likes to do some snow blading. I am fairly certain that we are going to have to put the battery charge on it, but a guy can dream, can't he? Battery charger it is, and I also just realized that I probably don't have the fuel turned on. In order to turn the battery charger on, we're going to need to get an extension cord over here, which means I'm just going to go start the 4010. That way it can be warming up and we can steal the extension cord from it. The 4010 will start right up. I had it plugged in all night long. Just watch this. See, just like I said, starts right up. That's what happens when you remember to plug stuff in. We've got the battery charger on. We'll let that charge for a little bit here before we try it again. That does have me thinking though, this little baby battery charger is the only battery charger that I have on the farm. It's kind of like the air compressor in that how do you run a farm without a real battery charger? But for the last 5 years, that's the only battery charger that I've had on the farm. So next thing to get for the shop, I think, of importance is a battery charger. Any suggestions? Comments below. Next step is to move the boat out. I put it in here just to get it out of the way and because I wanted to put another tarp on it before we set it outside. But this little pad area that we cleaned out the other day and I moved the splitter for yesterday, I'm going to park it in there kind of as far that way as I can so that we can still get to the garbage can and whatnot back there, but so that's out of the way. Then technically, if worse comes to worse, I can put the tractor right here. I won't have to deal with cleaning up all that wood over there. Now we've got this big, wide open, clear area there. That's a good thing. Always need more space in the shed. That's a for sure statement. Let's go check and see if the 110 starts. We'll drive that around. Things are going exactly as the weather people described. The snow came, then it stopped. We'll see if it starts again. If it does start again, that 110 has a blade on the front, like I said, and we've got tire chains for it, so I can put my son to work plowing the driveway. This is a little smaller John Deere tractor than I'm used to driving. I almost need the tire chains just to get over this strawberry cow manure. I'm surveying my options as I look at this stack of boards, and it's a pretty stout stack. I've got all this 5/8 plywood on top that is shelves for the shelving racks over there. I've got a bunch of 2x3s and furring strips and 2x4s. I just got a bunch of lumber under there, and I don't really want to take the time to move it a foot and then have to move it 10 or 20 feet later because I just don't really know where my wood storage place is going to be in this shed. I have a feeling it's going to be up high, but I don't have a place for it yet. I don't want to take the time to move that. So it seems it would be a lot easier if I hook up to the grinder mixer now and I move it just a little bit that direction, like I guess completely into this bay. The reason that I want to move the grinder mixer into this bay and not... Oh, hi Rosie. Are you getting ready for the fun today too? Are you going to go sledding with us? Yeah. The reason I want to move the grinder mixer into this spot instead of parking the tractor into this spot is because tractors leak oil and fluids, and this is going to be where the office is and the freezer, and so if I can not get fluids on the ground here, even if I put some oil dry under it and it soaks up a little bit, I'd rather not. So I'm gonna hook the tractor onto the grinder mixer. I'm gonna slide it into this spot here. Then I'll have plenty of room to park the tractor inside. As you can see from backing the tractor in, the shed is still just kind of pell-mell with bikes and mowers, and where everything goes at this point, I'm not quite sure yet. And I've just kind of resigned myself to the fact that it's going to be a long, drawn-out process, and a process that's difficult to do in the winter until we get the freezer in here and some doors on. Things are just gonna have to be a little less organized than I would hope they were. But it is a process, and I have to keep reminding myself so I don't get stressed out or feel like I'm not making any progress, that it is a process. It's not just a one and done thing. It's going to take me a long time because we're doing it as we have money and not just throwing it all up at once. You know, if we had thrown it all up at once, put the concrete and the doors and the back wall all in one time, we could spend all winter organizing this, but that's not going to be the case. So we'll just take what we got. That's okay. That was the easy stuff. Now something a little more difficult, because this thing is being difficult. We've got to move this stinking red truck. I tried roll starting it, popping the clutch yesterday. That didn't work. I had the 4010 hooked up to it for about a half an hour with it revved up pretty good. That didn't work. So now we're going to use the 4010 to pull it and just put it out of the way. Maybe out of its misery. This red truck. It's the bane of my existence for the moment. The question now becomes, where do you put a dead truck that you despise, but that you might want to get to at some point this winter and resurrect? We've got two options. One, we come plant it right here on this side of the grain wagon. That way, if we need to resurrect it or steal something from it, we can yank it out that way. The other option would be a little more dicey, but we would pull it up through here between this manure pile and this spring tooth harrow right here, and then park it behind these bales. I technically like this spot better. We're gonna attempt it. My wife, she's pretty awesome. She's got a lot of big muscles, so I think she can strong arm that thing through without any power steering. Let's see how this goes. I've got faith. I knew she could do it. I just knew she could do it. Good riddance to you, red Ford truck. Actually, I shouldn't be so hard on this red Ford truck. It gave me literally 250,000 miles. It's got 400,000 miles on it. It gave me a lot of good out of it, and I wasn't easy on it, for sure. There's a truism, I think truism is a word, about farmers that I think is pretty true for most farmers. And that is, I've spent the last 2 days getting a lot of things ready outside for the animals, with some things thrown in for the kids as well. But I haven't done a lot to get ready for the inside of the house, the firewood. You see, my firewood supply is pretty darn low right now, and it's not going to be crazy cold with this storm, but if we do get a lot of snow, it is going to be difficult to get into the woods to get firewood. So I think I've got the animals where I want them. The pigs have plenty of feed, they have plenty of bedding, they're good to go. The cattle have plenty of hay, they have mineral, they have places to lay down and get out of the storms. They're good to go. The sheep are along with them. The rabbits, the chickens, everything is taken care of. I think it's time to take care of the house now. So far, things are kind of staying true to plan, I guess, as it were, or weatherman's plan. The only thing that's a little concerning to me right now is that the snow is kind of pellety. It's almost as if it's a little icy, which they did predict ice today. Not a fan of ice. Ice is bad. I'm smart today, and I'm plugging the tractor in because on a snowy day like this, you never know when you're going to need the tractor. And it is starting to be a snowy day. I think that we are going to get some miserable amount of snow. It's starting to come down pretty good. The icy flakes are now pretty big flakes. They said that now until about 5 o'clock, it's noon right now. They said now until about 5 o'clock, is when the biggest, heaviest bands of snow are going to come through, and then maybe ice. I'm going to run to town though right now in case we get snowed in for a little while. Then I can do a couple things, come back home. I am back from town right now, and it is as advertised. Icy, wet snow that is coming down in pretty big flakes. Probably got 4 to 5 inches so far. The roads are pretty rough. The windshields are icing up as you drive. It is a good time to go inside. I think I may go take a nap. It is 4 o'clock. I'm gonna go out and get some wood, but let's see what's happening. We've got a little drifting happening in front of the door here. It is just white and beautiful right now. It has not started icing yet. This is your 4:45 update. It is still snowing. It has let up a little bit. I don't know how much snow we have anymore. I mean, where it's drifted, we've got a lot of snow, and where it's blown away, we don't have as much snow. That's usually how it is on the farm. As you may have noticed over the videos, we don't have a lot of protection up on top of the hill where the house is. We don't have many trees or windbreaks or anything like that, so it's just kind of is what it is up here. There is a big downside though, in that I think I'm basically going to be shoveling out my shed because we don't have doors. I've got an idea on how to deal with the snow, at least on this part of it, because if I had things on shelves right now in here, they would be covered with snow, as you can tell by the snow underneath and the snow that is over here on my pile of plywood that is supposed to be the shelves. This is what my idea is. I would love your thoughts and suggestions in the comments below. My idea is to put a tarp over there, kind of a temporary door as it were, until we get a door. That way when we get some south winds, at least the area where I have stuff on the shelves stays out of the weather. I don't know if it would work or not. I would love your thoughts. You're probably not going to be able to see in here because it is kind of dark in here, but the pigs, they have all found their homes deep in the bedding here. Check out this little one right here. It's not really a pig in the blanket, but it's a pig in the straw. I don't know. Thank you so much for watching the video today. I am really excited because we did get the snow that we were planning on getting, and it came and we were ready for it. So tomorrow, I think we're going to really get out and enjoy the snow. Hopefully, we don't get too much ice on top of it today. Have a great day wherever you are. Enjoy the snow. There's the wind wherever you are.